What's up? My name is Rich. Welcome back to another video. This is gonna be a real quick video. It's all the frequently asked questions on this channel. Every time in the comment section, I always see the same questions pop up over and over. All right, so the first one is, where do you buy t-shirts? I purchase it from APPAREL, but you know, there's times when they run out of stock and I have to source other places. You have Sanmar, TSC Apparel, SS Activewear. Those are like some of the main ones where you need a resale license because those are distributors. But then you always have other kinds of websites that you can look at. Jiffy shirts, pretty much anything, anywhere you can find. Just type in on Google, blank t-shirts, wholesale. And then you'll pretty much get a whole list of websites pop up. But for the best prices, you want to look at somewhere like APPAREL, Sanmar, stuff like that. Another part of that I always get asked is, what colors and what sizes are most popular? So when I first started, I've never carried any type of blank inventory. I always posted mock-ups for sale online, and then whenever I get an order placed, then I go buy the t-shirt from the distributor. Luckily for me, I have an APPAREL nearby, so I would go do pickup. So I wouldn't have to pay anything in shipping. But if you do have to pay shipping, most of these places have what's called Flex Express. And I think if you purchase over 50 bucks, it should be $5.99 to your local FedEx office and you pick it up there. And I think it's $9.99 for orders underneath that price. It was free at one point, so you know, this could change by the time you watch this video. But anyways, back to the question. When I first started, I didn't sit here and look at sizes and colors that was most popular. Pretty much posted whatever was available. That way I didn't have to guess this. But back to the question again. I always find medium, large, extra large, 2X to be the most popular in adult sizes. Especially large and extra large. Large and extra large seems pretty average to me. And then when it comes to colors for myself, I usually sell a whole bunch of black t-shirts and gray t-shirts. Black and gray has always been most popular for me, but I don't sell a brand. Most of my income comes from generic t-shirt designs, like Mother's Day shirts, Father's Day shirts, birthday t-shirts, stuff like that. So it's not something that's a brand. When it comes to a brand, colors may change. You know, you might have something like sand, cream, off pink. So there's all kinds of colors like that. You got to think about what you're selling to answer those questions. All right, so the next question I always get asked is, what do you use to design your t-shirt designs? I use Photoshop and Illustrator. I've been using it for a long time. I keep on getting asked, why don't I use something, a free option like Inkscape, and I think there's something else that's also a free option. I'll put it right here somewhere. But I'm a creature of habit. I've been using them for so long. There's no point in me going to use those applications just to show you guys how to use it. So I just use Photoshop and Illustrator. And it seems like it's a little pricey, but the return on investment at the end of the year is much higher than what you're paying per month. That per month practically becomes nothing. So I use Photoshop and Illustrator. And of course, I've showed it in the past. I'll post like all these resources down below in the comment section. There's websites like Vexels. There's websites like Fiverr if you don't know how to design. So these can also aid you to make you a better designer because they have elements you can download for like Photoshop and Illustrator, or you can just hire a designer. The next question I always get asked is, should you print and fulfill yourself? All right, so this one is very about you. It's not something you should be asking me. You gotta weigh the pros and cons. Everything in this game has pros and cons. There's so many variables to this game. So if you want to print and fulfill yourself, of course it's going to be cheaper. But when you're printing and fulfilling, you have a whole learning curve, and your whole time is pretty much just forced into just printing and managing orders, fulfilling, especially if you're a one-person team to start off with. And then that's going to take your time away from dealing with sales. So you need to make sales, that way you can start printing and fulfilling. And it's kind of hard to balance the two. But if you take away the printing and fulfilling, you let somebody else do it, then you can focus more on sales. So at the end of the day, this is about you and what you want to do. And then whenever you also start doing your own printing and you're fulfilling, you can also get distracted, but in a good way, because it's always easier to get sales where you're printing for someone else to start off with and not necessarily focusing on your own t-shirt business where you're doing direct to consumer yourself. If you had a brand, or if you're selling generic t-shirts, it can really get easy for you to be like, hey, do you need like 100 t-shirts for, you know, your brand? So there's a little bit of a distraction, but in a good way. you know, you can use that money to fund your brand. So there's pros and cons to everything. This is something you got to ask yourself and what you want to do. Before we move on to the next question, I got to give a shout out to our sponsor for this video, which is Zyro. All right, so check it out. Zyro is an amazing website builder. It's very quick and easy to use. You can build a website within an hour because it's very plug and play and it's very easy to navigate. So you can build your portfolio here. If you're a graphic designer, you can show off your work. You can even set up an easy way for people to email you, and you can even do e-commerce here. You can sell your own products. Now, what's great about Zyro is the fact that it's very cheap. It's literally only a few dollars per month, which is amazing. Now, although it's cheap, the quality is not cheap. The templates are awesome. It's very fast and performs very well. The website performance is excellent. It loads really quickly. So like I said, these website templates are great for portfolio, e-commerce, blogs, business, resumes, events, whatever the case may be. They have something for everything. All right, so the past few times I showed you on Zyro how quickly we could build a website, but this time I'm going to show you the awesome features that they have. Very quick and easy integrations with Facebook Pixel, WhatsApp. So if somebody hits you up on your website and you need to give somebody a quick quotation, it's connected directly with WhatsApp. Also Facebook Messenger as well. So if you want to connect it to your Facebook business page and you want to respond to somebody quickly, then that's also a win, because whenever you're able to answer questions quickly, they're more likely to convert. So the amount of features that they have is endless. Make sure you use my link down below so you can get up to 72% off and 3 months free with Zyro yearly plans. So make sure you use the link down below. This is an awesome website builder, very quick, plug and play, easy to use for your portfolio, e-commerce, blog, whatever it may be. Super easy to use. Zyro. Next question is, what heat press should I buy? Whatever you can afford, just get started. So if you want to print and fulfill yourself, heat press is going to be like one of the easiest ways to hop in the game. All right, so just buy whatever you can afford, start off with it. That way you can get going and later on take your money and invest it into something a little more higher quality, like your Geonites and your Hottronic Stahls. Those are going to be more high quality presses that's going to be built to last. But if you don't have that type of funds yet, just buy anything cheap, 100, 200 bucks, whatever's on Amazon, get your hands on it and get going. Next question, Etsy or Shopify? All right, so it's not even necessarily Etsy, it's pretty much Marketplace versus your own website. So Marketplace has traffic, but that's going to be very search dependent. So for myself, I like selling generic t-shirts on a Marketplace. And then with those keywords, people are already looking for the designs that you're selling. That's why I sell generic t-shirt type of stuff. So somebody hops in the search and they're like birthday t-shirt, and guess what? Our designs pop up. But when it comes to your own brand, you gotta drive your own traffic there. So there's no point in really putting it on a marketplace. But a marketplace is easier to get listings up. You don't have to worry about web design and stuff like that. So when it comes to a brand, since you're already driving your own traffic there, pretty much just throw it on my own website. Also, when it comes to something like Facebook ads, you can't integrate your pixel on a marketplace. You can integrate it on your own website. And also you're going to be collecting data, and it's going to be easier for you to retarget these same customers, because this data, these customers become yours because, you know, they're shopping on your website. You have their emails and stuff like that. Whenever the customers come to Etsy or even Amazon, that's Etsy and Amazon's customers, not necessarily yours. Of course, there's ways to drive the traffic back to yourself, but that's a whole nother conversation. At the end of the day, do you want to sell on a marketplace or your own website? All right, so that's also up to you and your business model. The next question I always get asked as well, since I just mentioned Facebook ads, is, you know, questions like, what do I think about TikTok? What do I think about Instagram ads? What do I think about Facebook ads? I've had success with Facebook ads. I've had success with Instagram ads. I haven't had success with TikTok yet, but I always hear a lot of people say they're having success with TikTok, especially when things get viral. Since it's so easy to, if you constantly attack on TikTok, you can get a video that takes off easily if you keep attacking. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. You should try anything and everything that's out there. I've had success with Pinterest ads, so that might be something you also want to look into. So anytime you want to ask me about these type of questions, at the end of the day, I haven't done everything. I'm not an expert at anything. I just know what I know and I do the best that I can at it. What I'm saying is just try it out. If it works for you, it works. Most of the time, all of these things, when it comes to ads, it's just a way to get your product out there. At the end of the day, you really got to have a good product, a good product design, and a good website. Because if you don't have these things, even though you have an audience, whenever they come, the bounce rate is just going to be high because you don't have a good website, you're not capturing their attention, you don't have a good product, you don't have the right product design, then there's just no point in even worrying about all of this to begin with. All right, accounting and taxes, a whole nother thing that I get asked, and that's something that's just very subjective to you. Also, like, should you start off with LLC, corporate, all that type of stuff? I'm not a professional in all this. That's why I don't cover it. But I started with an LLC, and I have a CPA. So I pay them every single year to handle my accounting. All right, I'm not a professional in this type of stuff. I highly, highly recommend get off Facebook, get off YouTube for this type of advice. Well, actually, there's some good advice, tax advice on YouTube, but seek a CPA out. And for state sales tax, you can look into something like TaxJar. A little pricey, but it pretty much automates all that type of online sales tax type of stuff per state for you. So like I said, I'll post these links down below. The next frequent question I always get asked is like, I've had a little bit of success. How do I scale beyond? So you've had some few sales here and there, but how do you gain some consistency or get these big type of sales? Pretty much it relates to everything that we talked about already, the ads and all that, but more so it's all about that consistency. Just keep attacking and keep getting better. The two things that you just need to keep practicing and getting better at is marketing and designing. So you gotta have the right product, get that design better and better each time, and you also have to get better at marketing. Find a way to get traffic to you. So if you have the right traffic and you don't have the right design, there's no point in them checking out. If you have the right design and you don't know how to get traffic to you, then nobody's gonna buy it because nobody's gonna see your amazing design. So you gotta get better at these things, and really it's just all about practice, and it just takes time. I'm 7 years in. I've never really had some kind of amazing breakthrough. Yeah, I've had like good sales days on Shopify, even on Etsy, where like, ooh, this is an amazing day. But at the end of the day, it wasn't something that just like, ooh, paid off my whole journey. It was like, ooh, I made 100 grand and you know, I'm straight now. It was always a consistent rise, and it wasn't until like a few years in I just look back and like, hey, we're doing it. So it's all about that consistent climb. If you're constantly doing this, you're just going to keep getting better, and you're not just gonna see those results overnight. I know this cliche, but that's just the way it is. You know, it wasn't until one day I just sat back and reflected and was like, man, we are rising, and you know what? We're not where we were when we first started. So it's also easy to get discouraged, especially whenever you see other people having success all the time, and it's just not your time yet. That doesn't mean your time's not going to come. It just is different for everybody. Some people have their breakthrough way faster. That doesn't mean your time's not going to come. You know, sometimes when you reach a plateau, you made a few sales and you hit like a little road barrier, that's just your time of challenge. That's your trial phase. That's when you're at the test and it's time to see what you're really made of and how you can take it to the next level. And really, it also bounced back to things like, you know, why can't I use these cheap options, these free options? Some of these things, yes, there's ways we can get stuff done for free, ways that we can get stuff done for cheap along the way. But there's just some things that you have to invest in. You just can't take shortcuts with a lot of these things. The homie Marlon, when he was over here at World and Vision, one thing he was saying, he was like, a lot of these brands or even people who want to sell t-shirts, they want that $1 million mark, but they're not even willing to risk the 500 grand to get to the million. A lot of people aren't willing to risk what they got to go wherever they've never been before. So just keep all of that in mind. Things take time. So I hope this video helped you out. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm gonna see you next time.
Hey Hustle Ninja, thanks for watching. Remember, if you want to support the channel and have the chance to win a giveaway to help your clothing brand, be sure to check out onlyninjas.com. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And stay hustling.